The morning dew clung to my binoculars as I tracked the sparrow, circling above my family's annual reunion picnic. Uncle Jack's booming laugh carried across the field as he told everyone, yet again, how his bird-obsessed niece had wasted her engineering degree. "Still chasing birds?" he called out, waving his beer. "Could have been designing real aircraft at Boeing like your cousin Mark." I adjusted the hidden control panel in my bird-watching vest. The sparrow banked left, its movements too precise for any natural creature. Above it, disguised as a hawk, my latest prototype maintained perfect surveillance coverage. "At least she's outdoors," Mom sighed, arranging her Pinterest-perfect picnic spread. "Better than locked in that workshop all day. Though I wish she'd focus on something more practical." My secure phone vibrated. General Stevens arriving in 5. Pentagon confirmation complete. Aunt Sarah joined the chorus. "Remember when she turned down that SpaceX internship? For bird photography." If they only knew that Elon had been trying to buy my technology for the past year. That those bird photos they mocked were actually classified surveillance data. That their wayward niece had revolutionized drone technology while they were busy bragging about corporate jobs. The hawk suddenly rotated, its wings shifting in ways no natural bird could achieve. Uncle Jack, self-proclaimed bird expert, didn't even notice. "Speaking of jobs," Cousin Mark started, his Boeing ID badge prominently displayed, "we're always looking for engineers. Even entry-level positions." My earpiece crackled. "Perimeter secure, ma'am. Military escort approaching." I tracked another bird, this one larger, disguised as an eagle. Its ceramic feathers contained more computing power than Boeing's entire R&D department. Each microscopic movement controlled by an AI that had made military generals gasp in classified briefings. "Look." Mom pointed excitedly. A whole flock of birds coming this way. They weren't birds. 3 black SUVs appeared on the winding road, followed by military vehicles. My family's chatter died as armed soldiers established a perimeter around our picnic site. "What's going on?" Uncle Jack stood, beer forgotten. "Why are there soldiers at our—" General Stevens stepped out of the lead vehicle, his uniform gleaming with medals. He looked up at my circling birds and smiled. "Ms. Harrison," he saluted. "Your drone technology is revolutionary. The Pentagon is ready to proceed." Mark's Boeing badge suddenly seemed very small. I pressed a button on my vest. Above us, dozens of birds transformed, their biomimetic camouflage falling away to reveal sleek military aircraft. Each one worth more than my family's combined annual income. "Sorry to interrupt the picnic," I said, finally dropping my birdwatcher act. "But we have a demonstration to conduct. Unless you'd rather keep discussing entry-level positions at Boeing." The silence was broken only by the soft whir of my drones, a sound engineered to mimic bird wings. Above us, the flock performed maneuvers that defied physics and military doctrine alike. "Quantum processing confirmed active." My chief engineer's voice came through my earpiece. "All units showing optimal biomimetic response." Uncle Jack's expertise in bird behavior finally failed him. "Those movements, birds can't." "That's the point," I replied, entering commands that transformed the Eagle drone into its full combat configuration. Nature's had millions of years to perfect flight. We just needed to catch up. My phone displayed classified performance metrics. Asterisk stealth rating. Undetectable by current systems. Asterisk range 3x military standard. Asterisk AI response time 0.0002 seconds. Asterisk energy efficiency 400% above projections. General Stevens approached, flanked by officials from every military branch. The Joint Chiefs are watching the live feed. They're impressed. Mom's picture-perfect picnic lay forgotten as more vehicles arrived, black SUVs with diplomatic plates, unmarked government cars, and security details that made the local police look like mall cops. "Your cousin's stealth bomber project," General Stevens mentioned to Mark, whose Boeing confidence was rapidly deflating. "We've cancelled it. These drones make it obsolete." The sparrow I'd been tracking earlier landed on my outstretched arm, its ceramic feathers adjusting to match my skin tone. Inside its tiny frame sat technology that would reshape modern warfare. "That workshop you complained about?" I told Mom as my drone displayed its adaptive camouflage. "It's actually a quantum computing lab. Those bird photos on my wall? Classified surveillance data. Aunt Sarah's wine glass slipped from her trembling fingers as another fleet of drones decloaked above us, each one demonstrating capabilities that would make Pentagon officials lose sleep. Is that? Uncle Jack squinted at the horizon. Air Force One? The president wants a personal demonstration, I confirmed, watching their expressions shift from condescension to disbelief. Unless you'd all rather finish discussing my failed career choices. My secure tablet lit up with urgent messages. Asterisk, Chinese military satellite attempting tracking. Asterisk, NATO committee requesting emergency session. Asterisk, defense contractors worldwide in crisis meetings. Asterisk, stock market impact projections updated. Ms. Harrison, my security chief radioed, the defense secretary is on approach. And sir, he addressed Uncle Jack, please step back from the prototype. That single unit costs more than your neighborhood. Air Force One's approach scattered real birds from the trees, but my drones maintained perfect formation. Each one represented billions in military contracts, years of classified research, and the complete transformation of modern warfare. Latest infiltration test results, ma'am. My chief of operations reported through the secure comm. The Chinese lost track of our units 3 hours ago. They still think they're tracking actual migrating birds. Uncle Jack nearly dropped his beer. Chinese military? They've been trying to crack our biomimetic code for months, I explained, commanding a squadron of sparrows to demonstrate their adaptive camouflage. Along with every other military power. Hard to catch what you can't see. General Stevens pulled up classified footage on his tactical tablet. This morning's operation in, he caught himself remembering our civilian audience. Well, let's just say your cousin's stealth technology at Boeing might as well be a blinking billboard compared to these. Mark's face went pale. But our stealth program cost billions and still shows up on radar. I finished, watching my drones shift seamlessly between bird species. Nature solved the stealth problem eons ago. We just had to learn how to copy it. The president's security detail spread out across the picnic grounds, their own tech suddenly looking obsolete compared to my autonomous security drones disguised as local wildlife. Remember when you mocked my bird behavior studies? Asked Uncle Jack. Those weren't just observations. They were programming parameters. Each flutter, each dive, each migration pattern is now a military asset, General Stevens completed. The most advanced autonomous weapons system ever developed. Mom's perfect picnic tablecloth fluttered as a formation of my drones shifted overhead, their shadows morphing from eagles to stealth fighters and back again. The quantum processors in each unit contained more computing power than all of NASA's systems combined. Ms. Harrison, my assistant interrupted through the earpiece, defense contractors worldwide are requesting emergency meetings. And your family's investment advisor is trying to reach them about their technology stock holdings. Too late, I noted, checking market data on my tablet. The military drone industry just became obsolete. Along with most air defense systems, surveillance networks, and I glanced at Mark, conventional stealth technology. A fleet of helicopters appeared on the horizon. More military brass, defense officials and intelligence agencies racing to secure contracts. Above them, my drones maintained perfect surveillance coverage, disguised as everything from hummingbirds to hawks. That workshop you wanted me to clear out? I reminded Mom. It's connected to a quantum computing facility under the house. Those messy bird sketches on my walls? Classified drone schematics. The president emerged from Air Force One as my birds formed a protective canopy overhead. Each drone's quantum AI continuously adapting, learning, evolving, making traditional air defense systems look like relics from another age. Your family's investment portfolio took quite a hit, my CFO whispered, showing me real-time market data. Especially Uncle Jack's defense contractor stocks. Uncle Jack's hands trembled as he pulled up his brokerage app. Major defense companies, the ones he'd bragged about investing in at every family gathering, were in freefall. My technology had just made their entire drone and aircraft divisions obsolete. Latest infiltration success rate, my chief of operations reported. Russian air defense picked up 0 of our units. They're still tracking actual birds while our drones map their entire military infrastructure. Mom's picture-perfect picnic now hosted Joint Chiefs, intelligence directors and military attaches from allied nations. Their scrambled conversations in multiple languages all centered on one theme. Everything they knew about air warfare had just changed. The Chinese delegation is requesting an urgent meeting, my diplomatic liaison announced. Their entire drone program, it's worthless now. Like Cousin Mark's stealth project? I watched another Boeing executive arrive, probably to salvage what he could. Funny how wasting time watching birds worked out. The president's national security advisor approached with a tablet full of classified briefings. Ms. Harrison, the implications of your biomimetic swarm technology. It changes everything. Global military doctrine, surveillance capabilities, defensive strategies. That's why we kept it hidden, I replied, commanding a squadron of hummingbird-sized drones to demonstrate their infiltration capabilities. Behind birdwatching equipment and family ridicule. The perfect cover. Mark's Boeing badge seemed to shrink as military officials discussed canceling project after project. Each one made redundant by my quantum-powered nature-mimicking drones. Remember Thanksgiving? I asked him. When you laughed about my primitive interest in bird flight patterns. Those patterns now guide autonomous weapons systems that make your designs look like Wright brothers prototypes. A series of urgent messages flashed across my tactical display. Asterisk, NATO requesting full capabilities briefing. Asterisk, Silicon Valley tech giants in bidding war. Asterisk, global defense market experiencing unprecedented shift. Asterisk, congressional committees convening emergency sessions. Ms. Harrison, my head of security radioed, we're detecting attempted drone launches from multiple nations. They're trying to track our technology. Let them try, I smiled, watching my birds' adaptive camouflage shift in response. Nature spent millions of years perfecting these movements. Their robots can't compete with evolution.